Hi, welcome to Finding the Word. I'm Melanie Brown, and I'm dragging. I'm a little bit on the tired side today. I can always admit when I am. It's been a long time, though, since I've had to be, given the disclaimer about my slurred speech and my low energy. I've been up earlier, doing things earlier. I have been doing that, but today was just a later day. But I felt more of a determination again to make sure I'm getting the word in during the day and not I'll get up tomorrow, and then it's just doesn't work. So this is why I'm feeling like I'm dragging a bit and just want to put that disclaimer out there in case anybody notices. Yes, I am tired. The word today is languages. And this was O and I having a conversation. We were talking about the importance of the 5 love languages. And that's what brought the word languages about. And it's not enough given to this. It's not enough talk about it. I don't know if it's really studied the way it really should be because people cannot feel loved. I mean, we've got 12 children that still live at home. A lot of them are, adult now or close to it. But even still, as we move different ones in their teens and on up, there's the desire to be loved. Until they're on and off in their other relationships, they need to feel like they're loved. And there are still times where there are conversations where it's like, nobody cares about me, or just whatever is said. And it's our tendency to be able to say, well, okay, you got a roof over your head. You got food. You got clothes. We do extra things you don't even need. And it feels like you should feel loved. Like, this is it. We're doing everything. And it's not that someone would say they don't love me. But the real feelings of really fulfillment in love daily from others depends upon how you feel loved, like the language that you speak. There's 5 of them. And so you don't want to be in this place where you're doing all these things all the time and wondering why people don't feel loved by you. It depending on what language they speak, how they feel loved. And that's really important. Now, the 5 of them are words of affirmation. And so these are special words. Like, you can't just get any card or say anything. These are meaningful words. They're looking for a card that says something specific. And they're really like being really fulfilled by what is being said. Like, they love the accolades and just people to really talk about the good things they're doing. And that's the way they feel love. You got to tell them, you got to really show them and tell them in words how you feel about them. And a lot of I love yous, apparently, they want to hear that, And then 2 is the quality time. And I can identify with this one because spending time is not just doing anything and you're on your phone or multitasking. People whose love language is quality time want you to spend undivided attention type of time. They need it to be phones away. You plan something specific. You want to do something special with them. Undivided attention. That is the love language of people with quality time that they need. And then there's acts of service where people want you to do things for them and be thoughtful. So if you bring them something when they're sick, and work on a project that they're wanting you to work on, you complete a task for them and things, they feel love that way. Then there is gift giving. So these are people who you can't just give them anything. People whose love language is through gift giving, it's got to be a meaningful gift. This cannot just be anything or the first thing you grab last minute. It's got to have true meaning. It's got to be significant. You have to be taking them into account. And that is how they feel loved. And then last is the physical touch. It's people who need you to rub their back and hold their hand when you're walking in the store and put your arms around them. They want hugs and kisses, and this is how they feel loved. So if you're in a home where nobody hugs nobody, but you need to be hugged, you can go your life and never really feel like anybody really loved you. And you can usually tell too, because the people who have these love languages, different kind, that's what they do. They're going to keep hugging you. They're going to come and they're going to be giving you stuff. And this is a peek in for you to see, like, this is what they're really looking for. This is the language of love that they speak. And then we have to really try to meet the needs of people, because it's like a nice peek in of an extra way for them to feel loved. And I think that's a gift to us to be able to do. So the word languages is bringing me here to Acts chapter 2, when the Holy Spirit comes. And so I'm going to start reading from verse 1 and just read through the passage through 13. On the day of Pentecost, all the believers were meeting together in one place. Suddenly there was a sound from heaven like the roaring of a mighty windstorm, and it filled the house where they were sitting. Then what looked like flames or tongues of fire appeared and settled on each of them. And everyone present was filled with the Holy Spirit and began speaking in other languages as the Holy Spirit gave them this ability. At that time, there were devout Jews from every nation living in Jerusalem. When they heard the loud noise, everyone came running, and they were bewildered to hear their own languages being spoken by the believers. They were completely amazed. How can this be? They exclaimed. These people are all from Galilee. And yet we hear them speaking in our own native languages. Here we are, Parthians and Medes, Elamites, people from Mesopotamia and Judea, several other places, the province of Asia. There were Egypt, areas of Libya, visitors from Rome. These were both Jews and converts, Cretans and Arabs. And we all hear these people speaking in our own languages about the wonderful things that God has done. They stood there amazed and perplexed. What can this mean? They asked each other, what does this mean? But others in the crowd ridiculed them, saying, oh, they're just drunk. That's all. Always got to have somebody. That's something. There's always people who miss it. You don't want to be the person who misses the miracle. Don't be that person who misses the Holy Spirit's move. We still have people missing the move of the Holy Spirit today. I just would never want to be that person. He's doing all kinds of things and working and speaking and performing miracles, and you missed it. Talking about people that are drunk. That's all. So that is a sad situation. But it's eye-opening when you really think about that. The Holy Spirit also gave to them these abilities. It was as he gave. The gifts that the Holy Spirit gives, we want to be thankful for. We want to be able to really notice and see the miracle and understand where it's coming from. He still gives us our abilities and our gifts. And the Holy Spirit is the greatest gift to us. I say all the time, like, we're not really understanding the power that comes and the insight and the assistance. People are running to AI. Oh my gosh, AI. You can ask it stuff, and it's like, it can tell you all these things. And it's like, man. And it doesn't hold no candle. It has nothing on the Holy Spirit. So it's just what it is there with people. And I pray that the Holy Spirit can become really evident for the power and for the gift of it. That people really get a hold of that and really start to really understand how important and how powerful the Holy Spirit is in our lives from day to day. This was a great reminder. Honestly, I appreciate the word language is coming up in our conversation to bring us back to a reminder of the Holy Spirit. I'm going to link that video we did on the Holy Spirit at the end, in case you want to see that or haven't seen that. It was really good. And I just love the Holy Spirit. So this is a nice reminder. And so, but with the love languages, I think it's a good thing to revisit, to take a look if you've seen it before, but just look at it. And there's a little test that you can take on there to see what language you speak. If you aren't sure, if you hadn't really heard of this before or done that test, you can see it. Maybe I'll link that for you too. You know, it's kind of interesting and helpful. And so, and you know, we want to love the best way that we can. We've talked about this. We want to love. And 1 Corinthians shows us all the ways they know that we can love one another through Christ and do that. But it feels like the 5 love languages, being very specific to people, is just a way to do something extra. It's a way for us to really be able to pour into one another and to go the extra mile to carry enough to see how do you feel extra love? What do you appreciate? And then take the time to show that love, that extra love to someone in your life, especially to your children, to your spouse, and show them love, not just in the way that you want to receive it, but in the way that you know it blesses them and the way that they receive their love. Shout out to the Holy Spirit on this word today. Don't forget to find the word, and I will see you hopefully more rested and a little more energy tomorrow.